What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a new episode of Off the Bench. Of course, I'm DeMarcus.
I'm Ty.
And then as you can see, we got another special guest. This special guest of mine is a good friend of mine. Played basketball with him growing up. Watch him become a young whippersnapper, young player to a good collegiate player, as well as a head coach to my high school that I went to, along with Woodham, of course. I got Ty McCants with us, man.
Okay.
What's going on, Ty? Talk to the people, Ty.
Appreciate y'all, man. I'm glad to be on, man. Once I moved back home, I said, man, any platform I can ever get to speak on and give my opinion, and for people to hear my voice about what I believe in, especially when it comes to this basketball, I love to come and talk and be a guest and just talk about things as far as basketball that I believe in and that I want to help the city grow in that way. So I'm happy to be on, man. I appreciate y'all for having me.
No problem, man. I'm glad you to be on. So, basically we want to get into it a little bit. It's a few different things that we have, we want to talk to you about. Okay. So main thing, let me get to my list of stuff that I got for you. So the main thing I want to first tap into is, just talk to people a little bit about your experience from, going to college, playing, and then transitioning into, actual high school coach. How was that process and things of that nature for yourself?
Oh, man. So didn't know it, but at the time I've been preparing for this my whole life. So I was a student of the game, a real student of the game in high school. Really, I actually played for Coach Dwayne Lewis in high school, who was on here before. He taught me so much, a lot as far as the terminology about basketball and how to play the game from a point guard perspective, from all aspects. And then so just, always paying attention and really taking to the things he taught me and really trying to be that player with the high IQ on the court. So I took that into college, which, man, that's what helped me get a scholarship to college, man, just my IQ. Man, a lot of y'all that know me, I wasn't the best athlete. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't the fastest player. I couldn't dunk in high school. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't the greatest shooter, but I got great at the point guard skill as far as ball handling and passing like that, and then just knowing the game and then being a great defender and work ethic helped me get a scholarship. So, man, when I got to college, man, tell y'all a couple of stories. Man, I used to go get the film, take it to my assistant coach. We used to go down the street to Burger King or whatever.
Sit down and watch it together.
Watch the film.
Which most kids, man, like I said, you know that now, man. Just being a coach, like that's the hardest part. Is getting kids to be a student of the game. Any kid you can just roll a ball out there and say play, but actually studying your opponent and studying what you're finna go into, that's been a big challenge for a lot of kids.
Do you still see that today? Like how you said you went to the Burger King and broke down film. You still see that in kids today?
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I don't see that. I don't see students of the game like that. I don't see kids really with the knack to really want to understand strategy and how to do better based off film study. And I'm really trying to instill that into my kids now. And they got it way easier than we did. Huddle was crazy.
Exactly.
Huddle was crazy.
And that goes to my next thing, about what you're just saying is it's easier access for this film, for this knowledge, for this, training of the mind. And I just don't understand like why kids are so opposed to it. I don't know if it's just the whole sitting down process. The attention span is a lot less than when we was kids, but I just feel like, kids aren't willing to do it. It's especially when, like you say, it helps groom you to be a good point guard. Cause like I say, just like me, I wasn't an athletic kid growing up, but like I said, just learning how to play with what I got. I learned that from film study and of course just playing.
Yeah, man, and it's crazy because, like, man, look at this right here, man. I can pull up 2020 us versus Milton right now and watch it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, and kids want to be cool a lot of days. It ain't cool to sit down and watch film and go talk to your head coach about, hey, man, I see we missed this rotation right here.
And I see I missed that rotation.
I missed that rotation right here. Hey, how can we get, you know what I'm saying? Let's drill this in practice so we do better. It's just not students of the game like that, man. And I really want to try to find, and I keep finding a good fight. I'm going to try to find a kid to really sit down and break down film with me and do it on his own sometimes,
because it definitely, that's gonna make him a better player in the long run versus just being somebody, okay, I'm just out here just trying to be an athlete. Because I know I saw a video of Mark Cuban, he was talking about that. They asked him,
social media,
do you he asked him about Mikey Williams and a couple other big name high school players. And he was like, man, he kind of don't like the way we're going with it, because more kids are striving to be, big name, famous basketball players, but they're not real good basketball players in the sense. Because he asked him and said, "Do you think Michael Wills a good basketball player?" He said, "Well, it's hard to really tell."
Yeah.
It is, because he do a lot of stuff to get the highlights on social media. He does a certain move or a certain dunk or try to do certain things to try to make a highlight play rather than making the correct white play.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then we already know that a lot of stuff you see him doing in high school, he's not going to be able to do in college. Because them guys are just as athletic. Yeah. They're just as big, and a lot of them know the game better than him. Yeah. Because they've already been playing. So
you're going to go from scoring 30 or 40 in high school to just like 11. Yeah. So how do you get your game off? You know, you're going to have to find your way basically in college.
Yeah.
It's going to be
and then depending on what program he go to too.
Yeah.
True.
If he goes to a program, because most kids like him, they probably won't even go to college.
So many avenues now. Yeah. Many avenues now, you know, so you got to see if he ever, and our bar is, for us, it's college. You know what I'm saying? You go to college, you know what I'm saying? That's really the bar where you can really, really tell, you know what I'm saying, that NCAA Power 5 level, NCAA tournament, okay, can you really play basketball? This is what's going to show us, you know what I'm saying? So we'll see, you know, you got time. We'll see what avenue he decides to take.
So now transitioning to my next topic, do you see a lot of kids like that you're dealing with in your program, just in your program? Do you see a lot of kids where it's like, look, if it's not a top D1 school looking at me, it's a bust for me?
Nah, my kids are pretty grounded in that area. Man, I just had 2 kids commit to junior college recently.
Yeah, I saw that. Shout out to Ozell and to Josh. Yeah, that's big. Yep.
They really all about, and I broke it down to them, get your education paid for. Okay. Wherever it is, D2, D1, you know, JUCO, then go to the next level after that. And they're pretty humble when it comes to that. They're happy that somebody wants them, and they're happy to be going to the next level. Yeah. They work hard for it, and I'm glad the guys are humble enough to accept what they have right now. So now it's not really a big deal for them. I got to go D1 or it's not nothing. Those guys are happy that they do have some people that want them.
You think it's going to you think it's going to take pressure off of them, or you think it's going to add pressure to them now going into their last year, knowing they already kind of have a school that they're going to?
I think from that aspect, it'll take pressure off them. But those two of my main guys on my last year good team. So that's where the pressure's coming from. Okay. And I was going to tell Josh recently, I said, man, you're going to be expected to be, you're going to see how KD, LeBron, and all these superstars for the NBA when you're expected to perform every single night. Regardless of the situation. So that's where I think the pressure is going to come in for them, being my 2 senior leaders here. You can't, I told them, I said, you can't go home with a 6-point game. You can't. You know what I'm saying? They going to get you. You know what I'm saying? Me,
they're going to be on you. They're going to be on you.
Yeah, they ain't know I had a bad game tonight. You got to perform every night. So I think that's where the pressure is going to come from for them.
So what having PSC and, you know, UWF here, is that like an avenue to push out to, you know, take them agents. Nothing wrong with JUCO. There's nothing wrong with Division II because you have it here as well. Where I grew up, we didn't have a JUCO in my area. The nearest D2 or D1 school was like hours away. So you have all that here. You know, are you taking advantage of that? You know, like I said, taking them PSC games, taking the West Florida games, and be like, hey, nothing wrong with playing here.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked me that. Yeah, I definitely communicate with the PSC and UWF coaches as much as possible to get out and come see my kids and to go to their camps in the summertime. Gotcha. Okay. So definitely those 2 schools having here, it starts with those 2 schools, whether y'all believe it or not. You got to get those 2 schools to behind you and liking your guys. And cause somebody from out of town call and say, hey, why y'all haven't offered these 2 guys yet? Or what about these 2 guys? Exactly. They're going to call and ask them in your backyard. In your backyard. Yeah. So and they have definitely piqued the interest of both of those schools.
Good. Because that's always the question, especially for people out of towns. Like, it's like coming from a city that don't have that. They're like, well, if you got 2 schools here that are pretty good in that program, why not try to get them here first? But I think a lot of times, you know, schools here, from what I can tell, they like to have that out of town kid just because they coming from somewhere and they come here and they can just focus in on basketball versus being from here and have the influence of, you know, personal friends and family right in the backyard.
Yeah, and I think that's the hesitation on offering local kids is what you just said. And it's, with my 2, you know what I'm saying, they haven't officially got to offer me the 2 of those schools yet. And I say, hey, it's not, I'm not looking at it as like I'm not mad or anything like that. But I think it's definitely other factors like you just said that goes into that. You know what I'm saying? I wish it wasn't like that, but it's just what it is. And I hopefully this year they have a great season and it overcomes and hey, we want these two guys. Offer one of them at least, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just still, like I said, fighting a good fight when it comes to that.
Yeah, because I remember, me, Brandon, TC, and Frog being on PJC team back in the day, and that was like a big deal. And we didn't even realize it was a big deal.
Huge.
Because like 4 Pensacola's players on a Pensacola team, which is not heard of. Yeah. So like, I would love to see more of that attraction for our kids, because we do have kids that can play, on the JUCO level and on the D2 level. They just need the opportunity to be able to do that. Okay. Right. Now transition to the next thing I got for you, Ty. So I know last year, you made your run. Yeah. Made your run last year. Do you feel that y'all can do it again this year? Or do you feel like, man, like that was our shot?
Took my question.
Okay.
And only I said because I got a personal, thing with that, because I'm coaching against them and I'm watching them make their run, and then when I saw them make their run, I'm like, man, these boys got a chance to win it all. Yeah. And then to see them kind of take that tough loss, I know it's hard to build back from that. So I just want to know where your head at with that.
So my head right now, so I'll say just as far as I got 2 guys who've been there. Yeah. And I got my 2 senior leaders, Josh and Ozell. We could go as far as they can carry us, you know what I'm saying? They're good enough to get it done. You know what I'm saying? So based off what I've seen this summer, we got a shot to go to the playoffs. Okay. But I'm not gonna lie, man, I'll be honest with you, Washington High School is really good this year. And this is not just me making it up or just guessing. Like, I saw them this summer. I saw you guys this summer. Washington is really, really good. Yeah. And man, I don't know if you call me OCD or crazy, but I do an outlook before the season even starts. Like, man, in my office, I got like teams in the region. Yeah. Records from last year. Yeah. Coming back, all that
all
wrote
the returning
down.
Players.
Already returning players. I got it all wrote down, man. So my outlook is we do make the playoffs this year. Okay. Yeah, but man, as far as getting out of the region, it's gonna be tough because we just added Washington this year. They changed it last minute. We just found out. We just found out 2 weeks ago.
Listen, I'm like you. I'm getting myself ready. I'm like, okay, this is what we got to deal with in district. This is what we got to deal in region. Yeah. So then all of a sudden, I get an email just like that. They changed it, which I'm not gonna lie, I prefer our district the way it is now versus the old district.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's a tougher district, which I like it. I think, and then also it's gonna, really put up great competition for your kids and for my kids.
It's gonna bring out the fans too, man.
So people gonna come out and want to see it.
So just our region. I'll be honest with you. Top in the region is probably I got Washington, then at Riverside. They, we beat them last year, the buzzer. Yeah. They had 90% of their team come back. Yeah. So they're still good. Those y'all two, those 2 are the top 2 teams in the region. So getting back to the state, go through that'll be really, really tough. You know what I'm saying? Then you got a Choctaw in there who can beat anybody anytime.
And that's the thing about it. Choctaw, even though, like I say, they've kind of stumbled a little bit.
Losing Asa,
and losing their top players, but they still play hard. They still play fundamental, and they got the size to be able to play with a lot of teams.
They got a great coach, man,
and they got a good coach. So that's why I say them. I'm interested to see what they're gonna do along with you, your team. I think your team. Like I tell all my guys, one thing about Pine Forest over there with Ty, them boys gonna come hungry. They gonna fight. And they're not gonna let you just take it. Yeah. So that's why I think that's what's gonna put y'all in a lot of games, is the fact that y'all gonna be
right. And that's why I say we got a chance. You know what I'm saying, in that aspect, because we are gonna fight. We are hungry. We were small this year, but you can't count us out. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah.
So let me ask you this: so with the year coming up, and then of course you got your 2 alphas. Yep. Is there anybody else on the team that you can see right now before the season start? Like, okay, if he get it, he gonna be a big help to us.
I feel like you're getting a little inside on you right now.
It's all good. It's all good, man. It's all good, man. At the end of the day, you gotta stop it.
Hey, I'm asking for the fans, man.
At the end of the day, you gotta stop it. You gotta stop, man. I'm gonna shock you with this one, man. I'm gonna shock you with this one, man. We all guards. So everybody talk about as a guard pretty much. Man, it's 3 people I can name. 3 people I can name, man. Maurice Smith, I brought him up last year at the end of the season, and he got minutes in the playoffs. So you know what I'm saying? So he's a junior this year. Guard, right? Point guard, pretty good. Yeah. And then, man, I got 2 freshmen. If they could figure it out right now, man, that's Michael Franklin and Zion Legree, call him Bean Bean. Okay. If those 2, along with Maurice, could figure it out, man, we got a real shot, man. Okay. And everybody, they're freshmen, but they could play. Okay. They could play. If those 3 guys could really help and figure it out, give us some solid minutes off the bench or starting or whatever they're going to do for me this year, we will really have a chance, you know what I'm saying? Okay. We really have a chance. They came this summer worked hard, showing like they want to be there. They're good kids, and man, they have a good year. That'll be a big factor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Go ahead, Ty.
So I know you talked about the pressure on you as coaching. You know, the two guys that you got coming back. How much pressure is it on them? You know, like, we've been here before. You know, I know we can go back there again. Like, how do you talk to them and get your whole group mindset to where it's at to go back to that Final Four? So you make it to the Final Four, right?
Yes, right.
Okay,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So those guys are hungry and they've been there. So like, to almost get it, just imagine how bad.
You lost by one.
Just imagine how bad they want to get back to that moment and redeem themselves. So it's a lot of pressure on them to get back there. What I tell them is, man, you got to take it one game at a time.
Yeah.
You got to take it one game at a time, Josh. I know y'all want to get back to that spot where we were, but you got to take it one game at a time, and y'all got to be leaders.
Yeah,
y'all been there before. Like, y'all know so much about what it takes to get there.
Travel,
how to behave when you get there, how to get your mind mentally ready. You got to be a leader when it comes to these kids. Like, we got a time, you got to get into bed.
Yeah,
man, you got to watch film before you go to bed. You got to lock in these certain moments, and y'all got to lead the way with all these kids that, cause 90% of my team
don't know nothing about that.
Don't know nothing about it.
He lost
90%. I lost 90% of my team, so they don't know nothing about it. You guys have got to be leaders when it comes to that type of stuff.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, you know, you're looking upon them to be coaches too as well, and police the younger guys, just like me with my guys. Like, even though we got guys that are, you know, still gonna be here 1 more year, 2 more years, it's like, man, look, you gotta police these guys coming in, so that way the next generation, the next player that come behind you, know exactly what to look forward to in this program. Yeah. So like I said, this year, they're gonna need to definitely help you in that regard, and also it's gonna force the guys, like you say, that you think can help you. It's gonna lock them in a whole lot sooner than later to be able to help y'all throughout the season. So. Now I know you lost one of your coaching staff members. Yeah, man, big loss. So talk to us about that a little bit. What do you think about your boy Suave, man? He, you know, having the opportunity to go get a head coaching job somewhere else. So you kind of foresee this when you get the job. Yeah. My job as a head coach is not only to, you know, I don't only have responsibility about these kids. I'm also to mold my assistant coaches. And to get into the same level where I'm at, if they desire that. So, you know, just over time, just, you know, watching them coach, helping them out, him doing things for me, letting him coach games for me in the summer, I kind of knew it was coming. So I'm happy, excited for him. He's super excited. He calls me, asks me for advice. Still, I give it to him. Man, he was a huge help in a lot of things for me over this past 4 years. I was grateful for him. He's gonna be a big loss, you know, but, you know, it's good for him. I'm glad. Man, the defensive schemes, I mean, I can leave him in practice. I can walk out the door. Yeah, he took care of everything, especially defensively, man. He was huge on the defensive side and motivating, and also my bigs, you know what I'm saying? Everything I see from my bigs is, you know, probably all Coach Suave. So, you know, he's in Central High School now, man, with the girls. He's enjoying it. I've been talking to him a lot. He's super excited. I'm going to go check him out next week in his first tip-ball game. Yeah, what I told him, I said, I got to come check him out, man. Yeah, I'm happy for him, man. So, yeah, like I said, that was the whole goal at the beginning, man, get you ready for your next head job. Absolutely. So. Especially, and like I told him, I said, I know that's a different type of transition because you go from coaching boys to now you coaching girls. But you've had Jade on here talking about that. And I started with girls. And then Joel, I know Miami, you did. Miami. I started with girls. Before you came back. So, like, you know, that's why I told him, I said, it's a little bit different, you know, but one thing about girls that I've noticed coaching them is that, man, they'll run through a wall for you once they lock in with you, and they listen. Which I try to tell a lot of players, man, that's the biggest key. Just listen to what your coach is telling you, because we're not telling you nothing. It's going to put you in a bad spot. It's going to hurt you, You know, we're trying our very best to put you in something that's going to benefit you now and for the future too as well. Yeah. So, but I would say I'm very excited for them too. I think they're going to be good. It's, you know, I think the program is going to really benefit from him being there. Yeah. Especially for the girl. I don't know what it was like before he got there, but I think him coming in there is definitely going to be a benefit. They're going to love him. He's going to do a great job. Yeah. They're going to play defense. For sure. They're going to do that. Yeah. They're going to play some good defense. That is for sure. Yeah. All right. So what would you say you're more focused on? Would you say player development, or would you say grades for a student athlete? What's more of your focus that you think is important? At my school, man, I'm gonna say grades. Okay. I'm gonna say grades. And here's why. At Pine Forest, you're gonna get talent.
That's just what it is. You're gonna get an athlete. You're gonna get a talent. Like he gonna be something that you could work with on the court walking through the door.
Yeah.
Doing nothing. So you got to work on the grades part so they could go to the next level. They desire to do that, you know what I'm saying, in any aspect, even if it's just go to school, you know, and that's something that was a struggle when I first got there, you know, but then I incorporated study hall. I got first period now. I communicate with the teachers a lot more now. I mean, everything's electronic, so I can see their grades in real time. So it's a constant battle every day. I mean, you're doing bad here right now. What's going on? You're missing the assignment in this class. So I would say more concerned about grades right now, you know what I'm saying, because the talent gonna come.
Gotcha.
That's gonna work itself out.
Yeah. Like I said, you know, when I went there, we always had them dual sport kids that played football, that played basketball, that played baseball, that played football, that played soccer. You know, all of them had the ability. So, you know, you ain't got to worry about an athlete come to the door, but you do got to worry about that kid that can sit down and take care of business in the classroom. So that way, come December, you're not like, well, oh, okay, we got you for one more game before you're done for the year.
Can't
so that's why, like I said, I've always stressed to them, make sure your grades is right, because if you do that part, that's the hard part. The easy part is just playing. And learning.
You're gonna do that well regardless.
So
going off to his question, well, his statement he just said about dual sports athletes. Do you encourage that? You push your kids to do, you know, track or, you know, come off of football, or do you just like, hey, you know, you my star guy. Hey, don't get hurt. I need you for this season. You know, how do you go about that?
Pick a side.
So I've had some great players to play for me, right? So let's talk about dual sports. I have a great player to play for me. So if I had to rate my top 3 players, one of them is Devin Witherspoon. He's about to go to first round NFL draft.
Oh wow!
So he played both sports. So that answers your question right there. I absolutely love dual sport athletes. My whole team, I had 6 football players. My first year, we won this championship. Devin Witherspoon goes to Illinois right now. Plays cornerback. Mac McWilliams. Plays cornerback for UAB right now. TJ McCall went to Iowa for D-line. They were all on my team. You know what I'm saying, at one point. And you got Terenzo Turner, who played both sports, who was great for me. So, you know what I'm saying, dual sport athletes is what I've had every single year I've been there. So, yeah.
Like you said, at Pine 4, that's kind of like...
And that's the norm.
That's the norm.
That's the norm. You're going to have it. You got to deal with it. But they're great, you know what I'm saying, because they're athletes and they like to listen. They're competitive. They love to, you know what I'm saying, win. So, yeah, dual sport athletes is something I absolutely am okay with. You know what I'm saying? Especially like track. That's after my season too. Please go run track. I try to beg them to run track every year. Like
track and field.
Y'all go run track, man. You know what I'm saying? Do something. So
it's teaching you so much when it comes to technique with just running, helping with endurance, and also keeping you athletic because you jumping, you running, you doing a lot of different things. So I think track and field, like you said, is a very, very important key to their growth as a player too. But I know a lot of coaches don't typically like the whole dual because they feel like they're not giving their all to both sports. Some kids are giving more to one versus the other, but like you said, Pine Fours, that's not the case.
Find them dogs, man. Like I that boy Spoon wanted to win anything, regardless of what it was. He was a champion. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't have any problem with him giving this much of this and this much of that. He gave me 100% in both sports. Good.
And then in the classroom too as well. All right, so let's transition to the ugly side of coaching. Okay. Parents. Have you, in your short time as a head coach, being a part of the program, developing the program the way you wanted to, have you had yourself any experience with parents that was ugly to the point where it's like, hey, you're not doing enough for my kid, or hey, what are you doing at all for my kid when it comes to basketball?
Absolutely, man. I had some encounters with some parents, and man, I tell you, no one said no names, but I tell you, man, parents would know me outside the gym one day. After the game, you know what I'm saying? It was
like at the home game?
At the home game, at the preseason game, man, had a parent wait for me in the parking lot after the game, and you know what I'm saying, kind of said some choice words to me. I had a report and everything like that, and it was just purely about playtime. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I had talented teams every year. So, you know, sometimes my 11th and 12th guy may not play as much. I mean, he got in, but it wasn't enough for that parent. So, I definitely got into it. And it's been mainly, whenever it happens, it's always about minutes and not playing that much. You know what I'm saying? I do a great job of being transparent and communicating with parents about the situation before it can get to that, as far as like, am I pairing me let them understand like why kids play, why kids don't play.
Gotcha.
Although I hold myself accountable to a certain extent to help these kids get to the next level, I can't make a coach take these kids. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
But I do the best I can for them as far as getting them. Parents want to put it solely on me sometimes to get the kids a scholarship. That's not how it works.
Okay.
That's not how it works. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't take credit for Josh and Ozell getting the scholarship they got. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I did the best I could for them as far as, you know, preparing them to play mentally, preparing them to play physically, talking to them, coaching them, and then this is what happened. Great job. They put in the work, and they got the benefits from it. Man, don't happen every time. We from Pensacola, Florida, DeMarcus.
Yeah, I know.
It don't happen for us all the time, bro.
I
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I didn't get a scholarship my first year. I went to PJC just to go.
Yeah.
Maybe the year you played or around a year, I was just a student at PJC.
Yeah, I remember.
I took a season off.
Yeah.
Not because I wanted to. I worked hard, and then I ended up getting signed.
Developing your game.
Developed my game and got signed to fall. You know what I'm saying? We just from Pensacola. It just doesn't happen for us.
Like that,
that all the time, you know what I'm saying? It has gotten better over the years, but it just don't happen for us sometimes.
Yeah, we have to get the, like you said, the dog mentality of, hey, if I want to play ball, I'm gonna have to go through the mud to do it.
Go get it.
So that's why I say me walking on that PJC and then going to UWF and then having to go to another exposure camp to be able to get a chance to go play ball overseas like that, and that's all on my own merit. It wasn't, anybody doing that for me, and I think that's one of the things that I would like to, see change in Pensacola is more attempt to help, earlier in their stage, but at the same time also help them in the latter years of their life going into, high school and then college, because we do have a lot of talented kids. Like I say, every year he's had, I've been on the other side battling against him. Jealous the first couple years, because like I said, we inherited some kids, not bad kids, but the simple mindset of they just didn't understand how to play and how to win. He's coming from a program where these kids on the football field know how to win, and then they know how to win on the basketball court. So being able to have that type of kid, it helps. So just trying to keep that development going and let them know, like, hey, look, just because you ain't get a D1 scholarship don't mean you can't at least go to college more than anything. So that's kind of what the focus has to be sometimes, right? Especially in this area.
Yeah, man. So that's the only bad encounter I have with a parent, though, man. Most of my parents have been great. They don't really blame me too much about the next level type things, man. Gotcha. I have a great relationship with my parents.
Well, good. I know I got some stories too on our end, but we've had some parents come there and be like, man, whoop the whoop. I'm like, wait, hold on. Have you even talked to your son, man? Because your son himself will tell you that is not true.
Or it's like, have you came to your game and seen your son play?
Exactly. Yeah, we've had parents like, those some of the worst parents, because they like, man, hold on. I know you see your son on this court as well as I do. And I know you see him turn this ball over. I see him bad decision making, and you telling me I'm supposed to keep playing him? Like, come on, man. We gotta try to win too. So that's why I wanted to, give people the insight of that part of the job too. Is dealing with parents that might not necessarily understand those ins and outs of development, and then of course next level stuff.
Yeah.
So
AAU ball.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it? And how do you, I think I asked Coach this, how do you get the talent out of somebody that, shine in AAU ball, come to your basically organization and kind of have them run more fundamental ball than AAU ball? Because I feel like AAU ball is kind of like one-on-one.
Okay.
When you come in,
showcase type stuff.
Yeah. High school ball is like, we're going to run these X and O's. We're going to run these plays. Like, how do you coach somebody, like I said, coming from a star AAU to running your system?
All right, so it's tough. So it's one-on-one ball, and I say this: a lot of AAU teams' defensive principles are bad.
Yes,
there ain't no defense.
There ain't no defense.
Let them score.
Pretty much. So the kid that great at one-on-one, like great. But you gotta understand, in high school they gonna have film, they gonna watch you, they gonna double you, they gonna shed to your side, they gonna play zone. It's a lot different. So the thing about it is, I don't mind AAU. The kid got to come back and understand it's not gonna be that easy. That's the mindset that I got to get with the kids. You're not about to just hezzy crossover, go score. Like I'm looking at some tape this summer, like, bro, you just drove left and nobody stopped you. Like I'm like, you going hard left and the next guy didn't step over. I'm like, it's not gonna be that easy. And that's the only
somebody like Go Breeze taking a charge.
They're taking the charge. They're taking the charge. These teams is not taking charge. They're trying to get it out, go quick and go score.
Exactly.
So that's what they got to understand, man. So I like AU, and I want to say this real quick, man. The guy around here, Lewis Pope, does a great job. He works super hard at trying to get coaches to come see his kids and getting their film out. And that's what I really like about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. It takes a lot of pressure off.
Shout out to Panhandle Prospect.
Yeah, shout out to Panhandle Prospect. He takes a lot of pressure off me because he does a whole lot of work. And he seems to know a lot more coaches than I know. So
he knows a lot more coaches than a lot of coaches know.
So he does a lot of work when it comes to helping these guys get eyes on them. So and then I get the call afterwards about, hey, how can you play for you in high school? And then like, man, it's pretty much easy after that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I like it, especially when a guy like that does it well as far as helping them get into school. But like I said, I don't mind it, just they're playing basketball all summer. But they just gotta realize, hey,
it's not going to be the same.
It's not going to be the same. And we're going to run sets in high school. And that's just what it's going to be like. Well, you need the sets. You're not about to ISO. Nobody out here.
Well, then, too, Ty, like you just said, most, if you go to any big AAU events, there's college coaches there, and they understand, like, what you're doing right now is one-on-one. Ain't no real defense, but I'm coming to see if you got some glimpse of understanding the game to where when I get you in my program, I can teach you how to run this set, how to deal with this type of help side defense, how to deal with this type of zone. And then also you show me your individual ability, of course, to score the ball. And that's always good. But if they see that you just can't correlate from one to the next, then all that was, that wasn't real basketball anyway. So that's why I say, it can be done, but it's difficult because just like our guys, they kind of go all over the place, and you have that one thought in your mind, like, is he going to come back broken in the sense?
Gotcha.
Because now you going over here, it's all about, like you say, this. But now we're going to go play Ty and them. They going to double you when you come off this. They not going to let you come off clean and just everybody move out the way. No, they're going to be
James Harden.
And that's the challenge as a coach, though. You know what I'm saying? You got to get that kid back in line. You know what I'm saying? If you're a good coach, and I say that's a real determining factor, but you consider yourself a good coach. Just get this kid back in line with your system.
Now, staying on the whole AAU, are you, I guess, how can I put this? Do you kind of funnel your kids one way versus the next? Like, say, hey, I'm seeing results here, so I advise you to go here versus just kind of wild west it and just go wherever.
So I'll say this: if I have a team, let's say if it's an EYBL team or somebody that wants you, and I got to connect or I get the call, absolutely. I'm gonna call your parent and call you and say, hey, this opportunity you may really want to consider. I'm not telling you to do it, but I'm gonna tell you, hey, when you go to this gym, people gonna be watching this team play.
Gotcha.
It's gonna be a kid on this team or some other team. They're gonna be watching this kid play. So you know what I'm saying? They're gonna go to, like, Pope does a great job of taking them to big tournaments where coaches watch. But a team, let's say I don't know all the names, but whatever team, you can get on this team and they for sure got top pick or a top ranked player on their team, or they just a team that get eyes on them. Go try to play with them one summer. You know what I'm saying? I did that one year with one of my players. I got them on the team just to try it out. I say, hey, what would it hurt? It's not gonna hurt you. It's not gonna hurt you. You know what I'm saying? Go play on that team, especially if you're a 9th and 10th grader. Go ahead and go try it out this year. You know what I'm saying? It might be something you like. They may love you. May want you to come back every year. So
especially like I say, if they're in the right program, like I said, with Pope and Panhandle Prospects, from what I've seen outside looking in, they get into a lot of tournaments that they're playing, even though they might not have the biggest name themselves as individuals, but they go up against those teams that have that, every time, and it gives them that showcase, that spotlight, like, oh, who is this kid from Pine Forest? Who's this kid from Washington? Who's this kid from Tate playing against this kid that we really came to see, but now they put on a good showcase that put a microscope on them. So AAU can be a real big benefit too as well.
So to answer your question, definitely don't make them go to another team. They kind of have their own choice when it comes to that.
Gotcha.
I always suggest and always try to guide them, you know what I'm saying, as best I can. But at the end of the day, they got to make their own decision. They're
young men, man. They got to put themselves in a place that definitely helps them. So now I know we talked about off camera. You had a little segment.
Oh, you can wait a little
bit longer. Okay. All right,
it's like gonna be the last segment.
I got you. Okay.
So this is my last question though before my segment. Do you get middle school involved? Like, are you in middle school watching guys, or are you, because where I'm from now, they made it where the high school head coach is in charge of who they hire all the way through middle school.
Wow, that's different.
So
that is different.
But I only have 2 high schools and 2 middle schools where I'm from. So it's Decatur High and Austin.
That's still
the
different,
high school coaches.
From the deck.
Yeah, Decatur Alabama.
Okay. And I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Ricky Sears,
Ricky Sears is my classmate.
That's my guy, man. College teammate.
Nice. Okay. Small world.
The deck.
The deck. But like I said, so do y'all have reign in middle school as a high school head coach, or?
Man, we have no control over that whatsoever. So, man, we had a meeting about 2 years ago, last year, probably before the season. It was like, we really got to start going to these middle schools and helping out and figuring out how legal could it be for us to go and stay in your area. So mine would be maybe Beulah, maybe Bellevue. I probably have to. And go over there and do some practices with those coaches. But no, we don't have any, and it's turnover. It changes every year.
That's the biggest problem.
And it's the biggest problem. So we don't have any input on middle school right now, man. We're trying to figure out how to do it better. Like the coaching clinic yesterday, probably do a better job of reaching out to those middle school coaches to come to the coaches clinic like that. Now, we don't have any reign over middle school. What I do is I go to the games. So let's say if I've got I look at my team this year. So I got a couple kids from Ransom, got a couple kids from Bellevue, of course, a couple kids from Beulah. I make sure I go to those games,
see what they got coming
and see what they coming behind, just see what they things like to do, see what the coaches like to run, and just see what they need to work on if I think they're coming to Pound Forest. So. When you come, I already got an idea. Like all these kids, I had already saw them.
Gotcha.
So I kind of know which direction to go when I do get them. So that's probably as far as the much middle school I do. Yeah,
because you got to deal with also like it's kind of like tampering in the sense. Because like if you at the games talking to the kid, they're like, okay, so the only reason why he came to Pound Forest.
So I don't say nothing to him over here. It's like pre-existing relationship with him.
Because like
I leave before the game over with.
Wow. That's the thing for me too. Like it's a lot of kids that I talked to before I got into coaching, and now I'm like, bro, I can't even be seen talking to you because they'll swear up and down, and I'm recruiting you, and that's a violation, which can hurt the whole program. So that's why as a middle school kid that's so influential that you got to be careful with, okay, hey man, you come to Pound Forest, great. All right, so this is what I want to do with you. And then it just turned into a big mess. But definitely going to the games is probably the best that we can do. It's just to go and see them. And then over the summertime, whenever you can, and maybe talk to them a little bit about, like you just said, here's a place you might want to look at too. And then just kind of work from there and just kind of wait and hope that they come to your school, and if they do, they, all right, good, I already know you.
And then we go from there.
If they don't, it's like, all right, so, I missed out on him.
Yeah, like I said, where I'm from, it's pretty much starting in Little League too. Okay. So you seeing what you have 10 years down the road.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I pray and hope they stay together because in 10 years we might win this championship.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's helping. Because in football, I think for like 3 years straight, Austin High School was pretty much
best thing smoking,
winning like the region and going until deep into the playoffs.
Yeah, and
he knew what he had, and he knew what he had coming in because they're not going to change the region. They pretty much breeding these people for this system. Yeah, for my system coming in.
Yeah, absolutely. And then that's the thing about it is like, a lot of these kids, even though they're going to be good, like he just said, the coaches aren't around for you to develop a relationship with them to even understand the kid. Know what type of kid you're dealing with. What's he like off the court? What's he like in the classroom at middle school? Because that's all part of it too.
Yeah, man. Shout out to my boy. A couple of coaches that have been there a while, man. Adam Stump. At Ransom, he's been there doing it a while. Hopefully he sticks with it, man. He does a great job. Last time I checked, they were undefeated again. They went to championship last year. Lost by 1 at the buzzer, I want to say.
Yeah, they did.
Then Miss Marsh at Ferry Pass, she's been doing it for years. So man, those ones that's been there for a while end up having the better programs. Yeah.
Last thing I got for you before we get into your segment. It's my last question. Okay. Referees. I want to talk to you about so. Cause I try to be quiet with him because like I said, I'm an assistant. I'm suave for Coach Lou. You know what I'm saying? So as a head coach, man, do you like is there a certain way to deal with referees, or like it's just kind of game by game? Like,
so this is my whole philosophy in coming in with it, man.
Okay.
I never want to complain to referees because your kid's gonna pick that up.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, and they be bad. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey,
I'm not gonna lie.
Listen, man.
I'm not gonna lie.
I know.
Yeah, you know.
I know. I'm watching it.
It be some stuff I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah, like,
I never want my kids to see me complaining. Because then next thing you know, they gonna start blaming referees. And then me, I can complain. I'm a grown man. I'm gonna shake it off and I'm gonna go do what's best for my team that's playing. They still thinking about it. It's still weighing on them. They're not mature enough to just shake it off and go to the next play.
Yeah.
So if I can teach my kids it's never the referee fault.
Yeah.
Sometimes it might.
Yeah.
But if they might say it's never the ref fault, I gotta be better.
Gotcha.
They gonna be better.
Good.
That's good. I'll hold some stuff for the game.
Yeah.
Get that film though, and I'm gonna talk to it like in private. I'm gonna go talk to the head referee. I'm gonna send the clip.
Yeah,
and
we gonna
let's talk
about this.
We gonna discuss it. You know what I'm saying? So it don't happen again in the wrong time, man. I almost got a district championship taken from me, man.
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy, bro. Man, man.
Because it's just
he said, man, don't get me started.
Because like he said, it's like you're literally real time watching a call determine the outcome because it's wrong.
And it's wrong.
And it's wrong. And you know,
wrong.
and also too with the kids part of it, which I never thought about until you just said that, is when they get to complaining, some referees would take it out on them.
Oh, for sure.
Well, hold it against, like, okay, since you complaining, your coach complaining, now when you come down here and really get hacked, I ain't calling no foul.
Yep.
You know, or that little bit of touching you I was letting you get away with, now I'm gonna call every time. Yep. So now it forces him to have to try to either coach differently or just get the kid off the floor, which can hurt their team because now that's one of my better players that can't be in the game because he just not mentally locked in. So that's why I always, wanted to ask. I try to ask all my coaches around here. It's like, man, the referee aspect, because it is and it's not just him or me dealing with it. Everybody.
We all say the same thing, and it's a few good ones, but it's only a few.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't do all your games. Man, you know what I'm saying? So and I've had to request certain referees to tell them, like, man, I don't never get you. You know what I'm saying? You're great, like God.
Like, how can I get you? Do I gotta come in my pocket myself to pay you? Like, come out the booster club with some money? Like, what we doing? Like,
and they're dealing with some things as far as new and high turnover and retention, but but it's just something else we got to deal with. Yeah. When you get to the playoffs, referees are phenomenal.
Because
y'all be headed towards that this year.
Because you get referees that don't ref this area.
They are great.
Because like I said, most of the referees around here, bro, they referee middle school, high school, and college.
Okay.
So they're jumbled around all the time. So I get it. They get worn out, burnt out. So when you get into that regional playoff, state playoff, now you're dealing with more state officials, and they only deal with big games.
Yep.
So they understand the pressures of making the right calls versus
they consistent.
And they're consistent.
On the same page. They communicate with you.
And they're straight up from the beginning. Like, look, coach, I'm gonna let you have a little leeway. I'm gonna let your captain have a little bit. Once that line's crossed, it's over with. So that's the good thing about those more experienced, refs. So it's just hopefully we can get better with that. So. So you want to run it? You want to run them through your through your segment? What you gonna call this segment, Tom? What you gonna call it?
It's gonna be called checking in. So it's like a little, show is called Off the Bench.
Okay.
So it's like you finna get off the bench and check in, put you in the game. So all right. So I got a couple questions. It's really whatever comes to your mind first, or how you feel about these questions.
Okay.
All right. Zone or man?
Man.
All right. Win by buzzer or win by blowout?
Blowout.
Lose by buzzer or lose by blowout?
Blowout. All right. You're just better than us.
Blacktop or gym?
Gym.
Favorite college basketball team? I seen the lanyard.
North Carolina, baby. Go Heels all day.
I seen it.
Go Heels.
All right. Favorite NBA team?
Lakers.
Okay. Favorite place to play in your region?
I love to play at Tate High School.
Tate High School. Okay.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Biggest rivalry in your high school, coaching wise?
Pensacola High.
Pensacola High.
Okay.
Biggest rivalry when you was playing?
Pensacola High.
Okay, I already asked that. Who's gonna win the finals?
NBA finals or NCAA?
NBA.
Okay.
Golden State.
Golden State. And who's gonna cut down the nets in college basketball?
North Carolina.
All right, last one.
Going back to back.
Man, look, hey, hold on. Before you get your last one, I don't understand how they number one, man. I don't understand.
We went to the championship last year, man.
I don't understand how they number one, but whatever. Keep going, man.
All right, last one. Jordan or LeBron?
Jordan.
All right.
Ooh,
That's it.
I like that.
It's time to put them in the game.
I like that. I'll tell you that. I got one I add to it. Okay. Foul at the end of the game or don't foul at the end of the game.
Down 3.
You're down.
I'm up or I'm up.
You're up 3. You're up 3. They inbounding the ball.
I'm fouling from now on. I'm fouling from now on. So let me tell you, Ricky, before you go, let me tell you. So, man, I never made the mistake again. Okay. I should have went to state my first year. Yeah. So we got Chris. We at the crib. We up. We up 11. I'm a rookie coach, man. We up 11. Game plan going great. Kids following the game plan. Man, we never fouled. My first year coach, they played great defense. So it's in the game, the team nowhere near the bonus. We only got 2 team fouls. They throw it in, dribble. We should have fouled. 3 fouls. Get in, foul again. 4 fouls. You could have kept fouling and just ran the clock out, man. So I'm an avid believer of fouling, bro. Just like, especially if you got good rebounders, they can only make 2. Get the ball and let's go make free throws and win the game. I'm fouling.
Okay. And then one last one before we get out of here. All right. Last shot of the game. With your current roster right now as it sits in your high school team, who you giving the ball to?
Man, got a nickname. I gave it to him. He's going to 10th grade year. That's Big Shot Josh, man. Big Shot Josh. Man, and let me tell you how I got that nickname, man. Okay. Going to 10th grade, we was in the summer playing a lot of games. And every time it was a big moment, he stepped up. He stepped up and hit the shot like over and over and over again. I'm just like, man, like every time, like it never fails. So I just started calling him. One day in the huddle, I was drawing the play, I said, and let's go draw it up, downstream, Big Shot Josh, knock it down. And it stuck. And it stuck ever since then. So yeah, man, Big Shot Josh, man, Josh Whitehurst, man, getting the last shot, man. Every time we get in that moment.
Okay. Well, like I say, man, you definitely checked into the game, man. Appreciate that. I like to say we'll keep that running. We'll keep that running for our special guest. So, man, as always, Ty, man, pleasure sitting down with you, man. Really, really appreciate you being on the podcast because it definitely means a lot, especially to keep gathering all of the collective minds in this area to come to the platform. So, man, I really appreciate it. Thank you for being on here, man.
Man, I appreciate you having me, bro. Thank you, man. It was great. I had a great time, dog.
All right, no problem. All right, guys, as y'all can see, man, another great episode. And please, like, subscribe, share, comment down below. Let us know if, anything that we could have done different, any topics that you'd like for us to bring up on the next episode. We'll be very, very sure to implement on the next episode. But man, until then, as always, thank y'all, and we'll see you on the next episode. Peace.